No good, man. Not good. Not good at all. That is not a good thing that took place. That worries me. I don't like that. What's up, Brian? Came out here to shoot some footage, man, and test out some of the smart features like zipline and cable cam. And the Solo app just disconnected in the middle of flight from the transmitter. Like, it was just like, oh, I don't need to work anymore. What do I need to work for? Like, just randomly, it just disconnected. It was just like, yeah, I don't feel like working today. RC Andy, what's up, man? We're discussing the standard Solo app sucks. I haven't used it in months. I actually just re-downloaded it because I've been using Solex. So, Ted, what's up, man? What happened to me yesterday? What? What? I don't know what that means, man. I was just got it up in the air. It was only like 50 feet above me. And, oh yeah, that's what happened to you yesterday? I don't know, man. That's the first time the Solo app has ever disconnected. Just disconnected. It was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna work anymore. Yeah. And then it just started communicating with me, and it was not, and then it did, and then it didn't. I don't know. I don't know what that was about. It's never done that before. Like I said, I barely ever use the standard Solo app, but to just disconnect altogether and not even try to reconnect. The transmitter just started saying, looking for Solo. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. I've never had that happen with Solex. It was 50 feet above me. I hadn't even taken off yet. I was getting zipline set up, and all of a sudden it just completely disconnected altogether, and it started a forced RTH landing. So that's not good. I don't trust the Solo app. I trust Solex. I do not trust the Solo app. The Solo app is crap. I wanted to test all these smart features for professional photography, but I don't think that's going to happen because, you know, a majority of the smart shots are still on the Solo app, and, you know, only a few of them are on Solex. Solex is more for advanced users. Solo is more of the standard use for smart shots, but I'll tell you what, man, I'm not going to use the Solo app anymore. I will stick strictly to Solex. I don't care if I lose the functionality of smart shots, because, not that I ever use them, but I wanted to in case I had some professional photography I wanted to take, but I'll tell you what, I don't trust the Solo app. I mean, I just re-downloaded it, got it connected, everything was fine. I took off, I got it 50 feet above me, and it just said signal lost, and then it was done. That was it. That's all she wrote. Andrew, what's up, man? So I will not be using the Solo app anymore. I can't trust something that's just going to randomly disconnect from the transmitter. That's not good. I've never had an issue with that before with Solex, and I don't think it was anything going on with the Solo, so I have to assume that was something to do with the Solo app. Can you test the filters? Yeah, we're getting ready to, man. I brought the filters with me so we can test those on the GoPro. Now, I'm not going to test these while we're flying. I will individually test them over time while we fly, but I am going to put all these on the camera today. What did he say? Didn't you ever have a bad day? What? Didn't you ever have a bad day? I mean, I have an interesting day every day. You should have kept your Q500. Absolutely not. It's way too windy in Florida. Q500 would never function. I would be so limited to when I can fly and when I can't. The Solo doesn't have that problem. It just fights right through the wind and keeps going. So the Q500 is a good bird if you don't live in a windy area. You know, you have to kind of choose. And choose your birds carefully depending on where you live. So I find the Solo is a master of everything, so I don't regret giving up the Q500. I will say this, the camera and the gimbal on the Q500 were incredible, but can't fight the wind, man. Anything over 7 to 12 miles per hour and the Q500 becomes absolutely useless. You can't land it, it's blowing around all over the place, it's not good. Tried a range test with the Solo yesterday and only got about 1,800 feet. That's stock, that's what you normally get stock. I think you get about 2,100 stock on average. So the alpha antennas, ALFA, the alpha antennas, 7 dBi patch antennas, high gain panel patch antennas, are only like $7 a piece. Buy 2 of them, screw them right onto the transmitter, and aim the pads down with alpha pointing away from you, and you will drastically increase your range. Well, that's not good, Brian. You know, a lot of you guys really need to calculate for interference. Think about the area that you live in. I live out... What's up, CK13? I live out in basically a city. Like, just outside of a city, but I live in a huge township of Temple Terrace, and this is like 7 or 8 miles from you know, downtown Tampa. So interference has a major play in how your bird is going to function range-wise. So I'll give you an example. The alpha antennas in city, right here, when I'm in town, get about 3,200 feet or so. When I get outside the city and I get into like open fields and stuff, 2 miles. Almost 2 miles. I could have gone 2 miles. The battery wouldn't have allowed me to go further. Actually, that's not true. I probably could have hit the 2 mile mark. So in city, I'm not even getting a mile out of it. So that's something to consider. You know, the alpha antennas are great, but try to get out to a low interference area. It happens, man. It happens. Everybody's Wi-Fi, cell phone, signal towers, everything. You are permitted to fly over 500 feet. Are you permitted to fly over 500 feet? I actually did a video about that. Just look up, is it legal to fly over 400 feet? I did a video, and I think, who else did one? Somebody was telling me somebody else did one. Actually, our videos are almost similar. We put them up like almost a day apart. I can't think of the other guy's name. But we both did a video on that, when you can fly over 400 feet. Guys, it's not that you can't. There are more guidelines than anything, but look at it this way, man. Do you really want a chance flying your bird up where actual air traffic is? How bad would you feel if a helicopter just collided with your drone and you killed everybody? You know what I'm saying? They gave us our airspace. 400 feet is our airspace. There's no reason to fly higher. Like, I don't understand the need to fly higher, you know? I can understand wanting to fly further, but higher doesn't make sense to me. I can see cloud cover on the Earth at 400 feet. There's no reason to go any higher than that. Are you, let's see, do you have to pay for the Solex app? Yes, it is $29.99. Well worth it, Carson. Well worth it. Absolutely worth it. It's not even a question in my head of whether it's worth is there and the value of what you're getting. Yes, Solex app is incredible. It is a very good app. Much more advanced than the original Solo app is. So you got to give it to Kelly, the guy, the creator. I can't think of his last name, but Kelly's the guy that created it, and he did an excellent job. He wasn't even part of Solo, so there you go. You'll get a lot of the Solex users in here that'll tell you it's good. Would you be nice if someone was injured in a fall gliding a distance over 500 feet? Well, it really depends on your situation, I guess. You would really have to prove your way out of that situation, I would think. Like saying, hey, you know, dude, it just flew off. I had no control over it. It fell and hit somebody. Now you would have to prove that you didn't have control over it. Well, how would you do that? You would have to pull your GPS logs up, and you would have to show the GPS logs to most likely law enforcement, and the FAA would have to review them to make sure that it wasn't your fault. It was the bird's fault. Something happened, whatever. You know, so that's it's always good to keep your logging information, and the nice thing about Solex is it allows you to do that with the push of one button. It starts your GPS logs and saves those logs for you. So every time I fly, I always record my GPS logs in case anything happens. So bear that in mind. Yeah, so done with the Solo standard app. It's unfortunate I can't use the Smart Shots, but I don't trust it at all. Does it work with iOS? Oh man, I can't even remember. I don't think Solex works with iOS. I think it's only for Android. Let's see here. What was the question? Hey Dan, what Solex is better? More stuff in the app. Well, it's got a lot more stuff. It actually reads out your telemetry to you. You can actually set up an OSD display of your angle and pitch factors. Like, it's just way 10 times more advanced, man. Dude. Uh-oh, Hubson deleted his message. Are you going for the HERE GPS? What? What? Some of these comments, man, I don't know. Maybe I'm not understanding them. Gum, anybody? Anybody want a piece of Orbit? No? I think it's Orbit. Yeah, Orbit. Anybody want a piece of Orbit? Too bad. Can't have some. Really, man? I don't get it, Roland. What are you asking? Are you going for the here GPS? What does here mean? For here, G, further. Oh, I don't get it. I tried. I guess I'm running on DOS today, guys. You're going to have to give me a command prompt. I don't understand. The mod. I send you the link. Okay. That's what the GPS is called. I just know mine is the Rev A board. I don't think about it any other way. 10-4 on that. Sean, get the Solex app if you don't have it, man. No one habla inglés. Do you pay in time, or is it a monthly fee? You only purchase it one time, and then it's yours. As long as you sign in with the same Gmail account to whatever device you get in the future, you can always just re-download it to whatever device for free. Because you paid for it. It's yours. I didn't add GPS mod on Solo, and I got 10 satellites in 15 seconds. Yeah, I mean, but see, I don't really. Here's my thing, guys, and I'm gonna lay this out. I'm only gonna say this one more time. Everybody that changes out their GPS, right, that I've seen physically do it, and they post it on, like, let's say the Facebook group. They're like, oh, I just changed out to the new GPS board that somebody found that just happens to work with the Solo. Right? They're like, oh, I'm getting 22 satellites in under a minute and stuff. And I'm like, that's great. And then a week later, you see that same person going, well, I was flying it and the GPS disconnected and I crashed. You know, and it's like, well, I've never had the GPS disconnect in the Rev A board. It was designed for the Solo. I don't like using stuff that was never really designed to work with the bird because there's no telling what's going to happen, and I continue seeing it on the Facebook groups. People update their GPS. A week or 2 weeks later, they're talking about how they crashed because the GPS failed. It's like, I'm not going to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. The Rev A board works great. I did the cardboard mod that I made the video of that's got like 10,000 views now. I did that. I'm getting, 14 to 15 satellites in like 2 minutes. That's good enough for me. I've never had the GPS disconnect on me, so... Roland, man, I see those posts all the time on the Facebook groups, man. Everyone always talks about how the satellite is so great, and then their GPS that they install is so great. And then a week later, we're reading about the damages that were done. So, fly from a boat. Aha, I can't. Not without the new Pickhawks 2. I would need to install that because that gets rid of the need for the motion sensor. What Gmail account you have? LOL. What's that? PW anyway. Oh man, that's funny. I cut it a little too far, and I'm not far enough on that side. I need to bring that side back. For Solex app. Can't be giving out my emails so people can download my Solex. Then you'd have access to my entire Gmail and everything else that goes along with it. Most satellites I get on 3DR is 13. I mean, when I get higher, I can get up to 16 on the Rev A board, so. Rich T, man, what's going on? I'm waiting for the sun to come out. It's all crappy. I want to test these filters and take a little flight with the Solo because now I can't test the Smart Shots. I don't want to do that, but I still want to do these. 3DR and DJI tie up. What? 3DR and DJI tie up. You covering. Oh no, absolutely not. We've already talked about this. I did a whole live stream on this. We talked about how DJI is pairing up with 3DR. So I'll do this again if everybody wants me to. Basically, what has happened is DJI liked the direction that 3DR was going. Saw me look, right? Saw me look? I can see it in the camera though, so I know it's there. So basically, DJI paired up with 3DR. And what's funny about this is I find it amusing because that tells me that DJI was not as good as 3DR when they did their release. So what DJI wants to offer is more of a tool like 3DR was supposed to be, and it is. It's definitely a tool, but the company's not around anymore. So what they're doing is they communicated with 3DR and they said, hey, we want your ideas are excellent for what you've been trying to do with the bird. You know, we like the fact that you could always adapt more technology to it. You could always install different things. You know, as far as DJI has been lately, unless you're doing a personal build of a, you know, a 540 frame or a 550 frame, whatever, unless you're doing your own build to build your own stuff on DJI, they don't have any birds out there that are really tools other than photography. So what they want to do is bring that same platform that 3DR offered software-wise to DJI so that DJI can start doing all the things that Solo was meant to do, which it can do, but unfortunately the company's not around to make it go further than that. So, is the Hubsan a tool? No, it's a backpack quad. I don't see it as a tool. Can't really do anything cool with it, man. Orbit mode and follow me. That's about it. And if you have the 501A, waypoints. But apparently you can't do more than like 3, I heard. 4, maybe 4 waypoints. That's kind of a joke if you ask me. I think that Tower app on Solo allows you to do 540 waypoints altogether. My understanding, which is quite a few. You do think it's a tool. Oh yes, it's a tool for sure. Better watch your Solo. I can see it, man. It's right there. Hubsan will never, ever be a tool. No, and I agree. They may be a tool in another sense, but no. Solo doesn't need GPS mod. And I agree. I don't think it does either. I feel like people just... I don't know, man. It's just a way for you to go buy the M8S board and spend $70 on something you really don't need. You know, unless you're really having GPS issues, I wouldn't suggest upgrading. I would stick with the Rev A if you're not having problems. Just do it. I mean, I only have to wait like a minute for 10 to 12 satellites. I'm good with that. So, Dan agrees. Hubsan is a tool. Yes, Hubsan is a tool. How about that? We'll give it to you. It's the same thing I told people with the Hubsan products. Everybody wanted to do a firmware update for no reason. If it's not broke, don't fix it, because you start tampering with firmware, what happens? Your bird all of a sudden doesn't work, and then everybody complains about it being bricked. Let me just be honest with you. There is no possible way to brick a Hubsan. No possible way. It is impossible to brick your unit. All these people that say, well, I bricked my Hubsan, baloney. You screwed up during your installation of the firmware, and now red lights are blinking and you don't know what to do. You're considering that bricked. All that means is that you need to start over from phase 1, right? Start the whole installation process over until you get it right, and then everything will work just fine. It is not possible to brick a Hubsan. So there you go. Come to Tampa and have H109 distance flight test with DW and Ron. Dan the Hubsan man. I just don't like that there's so much inaccurate information about the Hubsan that just goes around. I was talking to Rich T last night about how all of that played out, and I gave him the full story of me and Hubsan, and he has an understanding of why I am the way I am with Hubsan now. I just feel like no one really understands what I went through with that company. Some of you get it, but a lot of you don't understand what happened not online or me talking to you guys. Like, there was a lot of stuff that took place. Jumping on the Hubsan that will brick it. What about jumping on the... So glad I didn't get a Hubsan product and the problems with them. All I'm saying is, guys, is that I feel like Batman through that whole situation. You live long enough to be the hero, you also live long enough to be the bad guy. When I left Hubsan, I became the bad guy. I don't know why, because all I wanted to do was help everybody. That was my initial set out, was to help everybody I possibly could. And I still became the bad guy. Oh yes, have a legitimate reason. There you go. So be proud, man. Oh, I am. I didn't like becoming the bad guy. I don't know why I became the bad guy. You think I can reach Tampa with my Solo from Houston? Heck yeah. Absolutely. Cakewalk. We went to Neptune and back with the Solo. Just watch out for re-entry. I think you did a great job. Well, thank you, James. I can reach Houston from Dallas with my H109S. What are you guys getting for range on the 109S? If you don't mind me asking, are any of you actually getting over a mile? There's 5,280 feet in a mile. Is anybody actually getting over a mile? Yes, I do still have my porn camera on my head. You never know. You never know. You can convince a chick to flash you. Hey, show me your... Oh, yeah, very nice. Thank you. This sun really needs to come out. It's not out good enough to use the filters yet. There's just so much cloudiness that it's going to be pointless to try to use the filters right now. Do you recall watching Dustin Denil video of how far he flew the H109S? I did not. Did not. Is GoPro Karma good? Yeah, if you want to fill a trash can. In their dreams, they're getting a mile. I can reach Florida with my micro quad. That's because you're a boss, Brian. Why is the car light behind you on? Because my door's open. Got the door open. Suppose I could close it. I just like having my leg up during the live stream, so. Oh, it got a lot quieter when I shut the door. So, guys, I'm just kind of waiting for weather to clear up. Weather clears up, we'll go ahead and give these filters a shot. And I think at this point I'm just going to take a little flight of the Solo and just have some fun because I don't trust the Smart Shots. And now that I've got it out here, I may as well get the flight with it. But will not be using the Solo app anymore. Sun's peeking out a little bit. It is, but the problem is as soon as I get in the air, it just disappears. So I need the sun to be down at an angle more like this. So about 3 o'clock, I probably will do the filter test. Anywhere between 3 and 4 o'clock, because right now the sun is like basically directly above us. I would have to aim the camera up physically to test the filters, and I want it to be on the horizon a little bit. I want to be able to see the sun in the background with everything else. Otherwise, it really kind of defeats the purpose of the majority of the filters that are here. So, ooh, that felt good. Good little burp there. But yeah, we're gonna do that. I think this doesn't taste like enough gum. I feel like I need another piece. Oh, I just got a message. I didn't even see it. Not every Smart Shot works in Solex. No, and that's what I said. I was saying that. I said, unfortunately, with the Solo app not performing how it should, I can't use all the Smart Shots. And that sucks. Where's my mate? My heterosexual man partner for life is, in Apollo Beach. Something like that. Where's your mate? Slim. I don't know if he's slim. He just went and ate a bunch of grody food after he got done telling me he was on a diet. He's like, oh, I'm going back to eating healthy. And then Ron went straight and got macaroni and pulled pork and big plate of fries with ketchup. Nah. Where the women are swimming. That's a good one. I'm from Florida where the women are swimming. He's eating barbecue. Yeah, whatever it was. It was gross. We did me and Rich T and Ron just chatted on Hangouts. And he was eating this big nasty plate of sodium covered food. Gross, man. It was definitely nasty. Ron on a diet. Yeah. I know. Dustin, he flew as far as he could with no dropouts of any kind, then turned back around, was half battery drained. Yeah, but Sean, how far did he go? Yeah. Cadillac's been parked over there smoking weed in the parking lot for the past 30 minutes with his buddy. They probably rolled 2 blunts before they left. I'm surprised he isn't diabetic, your friend. Yeah, man, we've been talking about that. I keep trying to convince him to eat better, and he's just not doing it. So, hey, here's Temple Terrace. Look, I got the police out here. Popo coming to check me out. Oh, look, he's driving right where that guy was. No, look. He is watching me. He is paying attention to what I am doing. That sucks, man. Now I'm gonna have to explain what I'm doing out here when he comes over here. Like, what are you doing? Can you tell me how to chat with you on Hangouts? Yep, you would need my email address, James. Look me up on Facebook, Drone Worship, and send me a message, and I'll go ahead and take your email address so we can chat on Hangouts. Popo, checking you out, bro. You see that, right? He's chilling over there, man. Let's put him in disco mode. You guys ever seen the party? Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Disco mode, Popo. Okay, enough of that. And then, as Chris Tucker would say out rush hour, Popo stopping to eat his donuts. Probably what he's doing, man. The door open makes you look like a getaway car. Hey, coast to coast. It just sucks, man. It just randomly disconnected for some weird reason. I don't know, man. I was flying. It was 50 feet above me. I'd just taken off, and all of a sudden it's like, your solo has lost transmission. Or your controller lost transmission. And then it stayed up there for like 3 minutes before it finally performed a forced landing, so... I can laugh all the time, man. You need your fat friends. You gotta have them, because they make every situation better, dude. I don't care if the world's falling apart. I'd be like, that sucks, but it's awesome. How long you think this cop is gonna sit here and watch me? My iOS solo app is good. Yeah, I don't think Solex, though, is for iOS, unfortunately. That's, sucks, but I think that's the truth. Let me turn my AC down. It's really loud. Oh, man. He went 3.2 miles round trip. I beat him. What? Ba-boom. Oh, man. A solo ticket. Yeah. There you go. I just went and checked the vid. Yeah, we actually beat that, man. We almost went 4 miles, and I could have kept going. That's the crazy part, is I had to stop because of my battery warning. So next time I try that range test, I'm going to fly faster. See if we can cover more distance and use less battery. We'll see. We'll see. By the time I reach the water, if I'm still above 85%, flying at 50 miles an hour, 45 miles an hour, I'm going to keep going. I will take it all the way out across the water and see if we can peak it. He's not watching you. He's checking reports of your rogue solo in the area, FAA en route. He stopped too and came back on his own. Yeah, well, I stopped it. I looked at Ron. I said, honestly, man, I just got down to 62%. I'm bringing her home. And I never had drop off. The Phantom 3 dropped off twice during his flight, and then it picked up again. That's the weird thing about the Phantom, is that it'll drop off and then let you go another 2,000 feet. That just seems weird to me. Not make any way. Not make any waves. Oh, man. C2C. That is weird that he's parked down here. He is definitely watching me. He's not doing any paperwork. He's just staring at my car. I'd be curious to see if he comes over and talks to me while we're live streaming.
Hey, what are you doing out here, buddy?
I don't know. What are you doing out here, buddy? You eating donuts because your eyes are glazed?
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, DW. You're getting a ticket as soon as you take your drone off. Yeah, I don't think so, man. This is a fly zone. I'm good to roll. This is a public softball field, so I can be out here. I've never had a cop come down here and just sit and watch me. It's weird. He's definitely not doing paperwork. He's just looking out of his window. Is what it is, man. I'm not doing anything wrong. So glad I'm in the bloody UK. Yeah, our cops here are a little vicious, and they shoot everyone. Put trousers and underwear back on. Alright, well, it seems that the sun has come out a little bit more, so maybe I'm going to go ahead and try to take a flight while the popo's out here, but I need my phone to do it, so unfortunately I got to kill the live stream. We'll see what the cop says once I get in the air. I think it'll be funny if he tries to shut me down. Hey, listen here, buddy. Don't record me sitting under this tree. I'll be like, oh, well, maybe you shouldn't be sitting under the tree, huh? Don't you have a job to be doing, buddy? My solo does return home on 12%. Any thoughts on that? Sean, yes, sir. I think that's a big mistake. You shouldn't run your battery below 15% because you damage it. Something to think about. Don't forget the drone. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to get out and fly. Drone's sitting on the back of the trunk there. Our cops here are trigger happy. Yeah, well, I live in Florida. We got like 15 different hoods here. They're very trigger happy here. Don't get shot. Sean, very big mistake. Take him a box of donuts. Oh, it looks like he's doing just fine on his own. I'm pretty sure I just saw him wolf down 2 apple fritters while I was sitting over here, so I'm pretty sure he's doing just fine by himself. Next is the cream filling. Yeah, those two are smoking pot. They just came through here token up a minute ago, too. This is like the parking lot for the weed smokers. I'm going to start flying out here more often. People stop coming out here because they're afraid they're going to be on the drone footage rolling up a fat blunt. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, this lady's back, too. Huh. Maybe they think you are a serial. You are the serial drone flyer. That's actually kind of funny. Alrighty, guys. I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to see if I can do these filters, and we'll get back to you. I am going to take a quick flight. I can't fly at the school anymore now that school's back in session, so... Big Grabowski, you missed the whole stream, man. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. But what's up, dude? Hashtag always winning, brother. Always. So much winning, it's unbelievable, bro. Alright, guys, I'm out. Toodaloo.